subjects of phylum coelenterata. Phylum coelenterata is also called as phylum Cnidaria. Where these organisms are present? These organisms are exclusively aquatic in nature. Aquatic means present in water. Most species are present in marine water and few species are even present in the freshwater habitat. Most species of coelentrates are free swimming form and very few species are sessile in nature. Sessile means found attached to certain substratum. These organisms are radially symmetrical organisms or they shows radial symmetry. What do you mean by radial symmetry? Body can be divided into two equal halves in a plane passing through the center, or you can cut the body of these organisms into two equal halves in a plane passing through the center. That's why these organisms are radially symmetrical organisms. These organisms have distinct tissue or true tissue is present in these organisms. That's why they shows tissue level of organization. So level of organization is tissue level of organization. If you see the organisms under coelenterate, you can't see tail and head or distinct tail and head is not there in this organism. And most species of coelentrates are present in two body form or they shows two distinct body plans. And two body plans are polyp and medusa. So most species of coelentrates are present in these two body form, that is polyp and medusa. As you can see in this diagram, this is polyp and this is medusa. Polyp is cylindrical in shape and it is sessile in nature. Sessile means found attached to certain substratum, whereas medusa is umbrella shaped and it is free swimming form. So that is the difference between polyp and medusa. So most of the species under coelentrates are present in these two body form, that is polyp and medusa. Both polyp and medusa forms are diploblastic in nature. Diploblastic means all cells are arranged in mainly two embryonic body layer, or even in the adult the cells are arranged in mainly two layer, that is outer epidermis and inner gastrodermis. So two body layer is outer epidermis and inner gastrodermis. In between these two, that is in between epidermis and gastrodermis, you can see a region called as mesoglia. So two body layers are epidermis and gastrodermis. That's why they are diploblastic in nature or they are diploblastic organism. On this epidermis or in the epidermis layer, you can see special type of cell called as nidoblast or nidocytes. That's why these organisms are also called as cnidarians. So they have a special type of cell called as nidoblast or nidocyte on the epidermis. And these nidocytes or nidoblasts have a special type of structure called as nematocyst or stinging capsule. So stinging capsule or nematocysts are present on the nidocytes or nidoblast which are present in the epidermis layer. So these nematocyst or stinging capsule helps in capturing the prey and paralyzing that prey. It also helps during the attachment of the animal to certain substratum. Even it helps during the defense mechanism. So function of nematocyst is it helps in capturing and paralyzing the prey, it acts as a defense mechanism and it also helps during the attachment of the organism to certain substratum and it is present in the epidermis layer. Mainly these nematocysts are present in the tentacles region. Tentacles means finger-like projection which is present in these organisms. So nematocysts are present on the tentacles and mainly these tentacles are present near the mouth region. As you can see, this opening is called as mouth. Even here this opening is called as mouth. So around the mouth you can see this finger-like projection called as tentacles and on these tentacles you can see nematocyst. So this mouth is present on the structure called as hypostome. So hypostome is raised part or protuberance which is present near the mouth. As you can see in this diagram, these are the protuberance which are present near the mouth region and it is called as hypostome. So mouth is present on this protuberance or raised part called as hypostome and near or around this mouth you can see tentacles on which nematocysts are present. This mouth leads to a cavity called as gastrovascular cavity or coelenteron. So coelentrates have a cavity or sac-like structure inside the body called as gastrovascular cavity or coelenteron and it is in this coelenteron digestion takes place. So digestion in the case of coelentrate is both extracellular and intracellular. Extracellular digestion takes place in this coelenteron and the waste which are produced during the digestion will be expelled out or thrown out of the body through the mouth itself because there is no anus in the coelentrate. So waste produced will be thrown out of the body through through the mouth itself. So that is about the digestion. Circulatory system, respiratory and excretory system is not there in the coelenterate. They have nervous system which consisting of very simple nerve cells. Some species like corals, they have skeleton made up of calcium carbonate. If you talk about the reproduction in the coelenterate, they reproduce by both asexual and a sexual method. And asexual reproduction is by budding and sexual reproduction is by formation of gametes and fusion of the gametes. Development in the case of coelenterate is indirect, including the larva called as planula larva. So larva in the case of coelenterate is planula larva. One more important characters of the coelenterate is metagenesis or alternation of generation, which is a unique or important characters of coelenterate. And these metagenesis or alternation of generation is present in those species which shows these two body form, that is polyp and medusa form. So in those organisms, the polyp form will produce medusa form by asexual reproduction and medusa form will produce as polyp by sexual reproduction. And this alternation of two body form is nothing but the metagenesis or alternation of a generation. So alternation of generation means there is alternation of polyp and medusa form in those organism or in those species by both sexual and asexual method. So polyp produces medusa by asexual method, medusa produces polyp by sexual method, and this alternation of two body form in those organisms are called as metagenesis or alternation of generation. And the example for the animal which shows metagenesis or alternation of generation is Obelia. Now we'll talk about the few examples of a phylum coelenterate. First one is Physalia, which is so commonly called as Portuguese man of war. Second one is Adamsia, which is commonly called as sea anemone. Pennatula, which is commonly called as sea pen. Gorgonia, which is commonly called as sea fan. Meandrina, which is commonly called as brain coral. So these are the very important examples of phylum coelenterate. So that is about the characteristics of phylum coelenterate. I hope this video is useful. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.